Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be rating incursions, and you know, I think I have to be very careful about this. First of all, I think I may have misdirected something because I've said many times that there are no incursions in the Division 2, but I think they are, but they just are not named incursions. I think they're what we call strongholds in the Division 2. They were given a separate name. So I think this was a mistake in nomenclature. There's a way you can, you can name something. Sorry, name recognition is a big deal. Let me tell you how it's working and how it's worked over time. So think about Batman games. When Rocksteady released Batman Arkham Asylum, Warner Brothers Games commissioned them to go make Arkham City and then commissioned them to make Arkham Knight. 3 Batman games because I think Batman has a lot of name recognition. If you look at another set of superhero games that are out there, Spider-Man. I'm glad I'm doing this right here. See how many Spider-Man games I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have about 6 of them all here. And I have the PS4 one over there somewhere. So I have about 7. And one is, I have about 7. One is in the mail as we speak. Name recognition. Okay, that doesn't tell you anything. Then something as simple as the word incursion. Signature, stronghold, enemy, fortress type invasion. That's what it is. It's just an invasion. But the name recognition was such a big deal that many people don't really understand how that actually affects a lot of things. I'll give you another example, and this one actually I actually have a report that I got from, there's this organization that does reporting on gaming and sales and all that stuff, and they have very expensive reports, like $2,500 for some of them. No, I didn't pay for that. They have free ones though, so I got a free one, and that one spoke about how Capcom did very well and how they actually were able to leverage Resident Evil 2's remake from last year. And the report actually concluded that Capcom was able to do well because of name recognition. The Resident Evil name has been a household name for so many years. So Capcom leveraged that for a title and were able to do and make a lot of money. Yeah, they kind of did some marketing with, some influencers, but even the report said that in Capcom's, influencer marketing, they didn't even really do a good job. This report said if Capcom had actually used more influencers, they would have actually sold much more than they actually did, which means even without the influencers, Capcom was still able to make a whole bunch of money just from name recognition. And guess who's bringing out a Resident Evil 3 remake? Capcom. Now, all that to say, simple things that we were used to, like the word incursion, would have been okay to just keep for things like title basin incursion, because that's what it is. The Capitol Building, District Union, and Roosevelt Island. So 4 strongholds, but incursions. Now, we still also have to talk about the level designs. Here we also have 4 incursions. We have Stolen Signal, we have Clear Sky, we have Dragon's Nest, and we have Falcon Lost. Okay. Now we also have to, speak about design. The designs of these incursions all required for team participation. Like everybody on the team could work together to actually achieve the goal. You could solo them, but there were sequences of things that you had to do. In Falcon Lost, you had to do the APC, you got to plant the bomb, which Falcon Lost had been soloed by a whole bunch of people. Dragon's Nest, you can solo to a specific point because you need 2 people to push buttons. That's why, like, in our raids, you need 4 people staying in the circle to destroy Razorback and stuff. This is kind of the beginnings of it. So for those of you who've never played Division 1, when you play Dragon's Nest, if you even can, if there are enough people to matchmake for you, don't need too many people. Just go to Discord servers and say, hey, I need some people to run me through Dragon's Nest. People will be happy to do that with you. And then here, Stolen Signal, you needed a lot more coordination than even the other 2. You needed to shield, hostages. You needed to do things in a specific order. In some cases, you need to kind of work some things, and so that was also really cool. That was actually well designed. I think it's the best designed incursion in the entire game. And then you had Clear Sky, where you had to also work in tandem with some other things. But if you compare those to our invaded missions, or strongholds, strongholds are linear. They don't really have that kind of dynamic in the sense that I just need to make my way through the stronghold and blow up something, or stand, like in the case of, let's say, Roosevelt Island. We got to go blow up all those tanks. We got to go blow up all those tanks and shoot everybody and all that. And then we're done. So that design doesn't really lend much dynamic into how it's played. And so it doesn't provide more fun, to the way the game mode, or the mission structure is. Whereas in the Division 1, those were things that actually made it better. And then let's look at, maybe say, Capitol building. Capitol building, also linear, straightforward, blow through the Capitol building, and then when you get to the end, stand and wait for the thing to upload, and so that the chopper can come get you know what I mean. It's really straightforward, doesn't have the dynamics. The only thing, sadly, that has those kinds of, Division style dynamics to them is the raid, so far anyways. Kinley College, back and forth. And so this is why I think the Incursions succeeded where the raid failed. They were much more dynamic. They had the in-depth mechanics, and then they had accessibility. So if I was gonna matchmake right now to play an Incursion, there are four slots for players, and there is a matchmaking system. It's just like, and then when you want to play the raid, there's no matchmaking system for the regular raid that has the rewards attached to it. So if you even want to say, what is the most anybody can actually play the raids right now, the raid had been, scaled down to like 9 minutes or something. That's about the same time it'll take you to play like Stolen Signal, I think. I don't think you can play Stolen Signal any faster than you can play the raid in the Division 2. I don't know. Maybe there's a way to play it faster than 9 minutes, but it's such a well done raid that it requires you to actually move through different areas and different sections of level design. And so this is why I think they are, quite solid. Now, in terms of my rating, if I was going to rate which Incursions are better and which, from worst to, I would say Dragon's Nest is kind of the worst design Incursion, in the sense that you just sit in cover and then go push those buttons at a specific time. It's and it's not, when I say worst design, I'm not sliding in. I'm just saying, like, the worst Incursion on Dragon's Nest is actually still more layered than our strongholds in a sense. So that's, in my opinion, what that is. And then I would say Clear Sky doesn't really put too much of that challenge in a sense. If you follow the coordination for Clear Sky, you can get done in 7 minutes. Falcon Lost requires for you to wait your turn, and you have waves of enemies. So that will be number 2, and then Stolen Signal will be number 1 in terms of design. Falcon Lost is my favorite though. So in terms of my favorite, Falcon Lost is my number 1 favorite. Clear Sky is like Buddy and Lucy. If your team doesn't know what they're doing in Clear Sky, they'll take so long to do everything. Yeah, that's Clear Sky. Buddy and Lucy is what I will compare it to. Maybe even Boomer. Actually, you can compare Boomer to one of the aspects of Stolen Signal. So these are some of the things about a Division 1 that I feel like made it very successful. And I wish and I hope for us to start seeing things like that. So yes, now we have strongholds. If the developers will leverage the name recognition, Incursion, and layer new missions that have more complexity and put them in the game, I think it will be successful. I think raids, if they want to do raids, then they have to add the matchmaking and let the players face that frustration of not being able to complete the game. But right now, the frustration of accessibility, the player base is right to take that out on the developers. And if the developers don't want to barge, they won't have players engaging their content. They'll just be making content for no one, which would be sad because, I'll be able to hustle around and find people to play these missions. But how about the guy who finally got some hours off where he's not dead, burned out on the day he got back from work? Some people come back from work, they're Division players. They just fall down and go to sleep because they're just so tired. I know those days. I'm on holiday right now, going back to work here, very soon. And I understand the days you come back and you're worn out, you know, but there's, you know, and then how are you supposed to sit there for, sometimes it takes you 45 minutes to get a team together, because, you know, your guys aren't around. Even if you have, you know, guys that help you, if they're not around, then you're stuck. We only have 7 guys. Logistically, it just does not make sense for the way the Division 2 is. Division is very fast paced. We learn how to clean out raids in 9 minutes. I mean, sorry, we're not Destiny 2. You know, I mean, no shade at Destiny, but I feel like it's just the design that makes it possible for us to be able to do it. And that's with the limitations of our game compared to Destiny having more room to explore a lot of other things. So I'll get out of your hair. Thank you very much for your time and audience. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.